All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Let's step on the gas.
All right, race fans, welcome to Lady Charlotte. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The high-octane Racing League Buschwackers Series hits Charlotte Motor Speedway tonight for a 100-lap race. It's race number 7 of the season. If you're going to make a move, now's the time to do it. It's 100 laps tonight, man. This is a bumpy track. It's a fun track. It's a fast track. And it's one everybody knows, man. It's Charlotte, baby. Who's got what it takes to bring home the victory? There's only one way to find out. That's watch it right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, the Buschwackers Series Friday night, 100-lap race from Lady Charlotte. It's race number 7 of the season. Let's get this party started. All right, thank you so much for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. And we got a good one here for you tonight, man. Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, broadcaster, commentator here at TurnLeftTV, owner of High Octane Racing League, and a 100-lap race, man, for Charlotte. We love Charlotte, man. A lot of fun to race here, but it is a bumpy, bumpy ride. These guys are running a little bit behind here as far as time is concerned. Looks like they are got about 12 minutes left to go. And I will be muting the broadcast here for just a moment. I will, in just a little while, for a few minutes, while I'll do the drivers' meeting for the drivers today. Like we said, this is race number 7 of the season. And next week, man, we'll be at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Always a fun track there. Talladega coming up on October the 17th, and the day after my birthday, Martinsville Speedway. A little beating and banging there at Martinsville to finish out the season. Thank you so much for joining me here on the YouTube channel, whether you're watching it live or on replay. Appreciate your support here. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, man. Let me know you're here by smashing the bell, subscribing, all the above. Get updates when races are going live if you smash that bell. But if you come out and watch the races every week, or you're a first-timer, please consider subscribing. Thanks to all those new subscribers and all the folks who've been around since the inception, and everybody in between. Appreciate your support here at TurnLeftTV. Take a look at the point standings coming into tonight's race. Craig Marizon, 11-point lead over Gordon Carter. What a fist fight we got going on right there. Sean Jacobs on vacation, so he's going to take a little bit of a hit in points. He's at a football game right now, I think, University of South Florida, so hopefully he's enjoying that, and he might even be watching the stream on his phone. Who knows? Tony Furtado sits in that 4th position. Ed Palumbo is 5th. Preston Hassel is 6th. Uvaldo Spindola is 7th. Dennis Schuderchen is 8th. Claudio Bardelli Jr. 9th. Pierce Crone, who is no longer racing with us, shown in the 10th position. P11 is Artur Vieira. Dana Grover 12th. John Stanley is 13th. Jack Furtado 14th. Dan Richter is 15th. Good to see Dan in here. One of our great Indiana drivers. Ricky Nobar 16th. Todd Robillard 17th. Eugene Fedorov. Saw where he was going to be streaming tonight, man. So maybe he's going to come out and join us. Chris Hughes 19th. Fedorov 18th. Of course, Julio Caligari is in 19th or 20th. And then 21st is Benor Silva. Got some folks joining us in the chat already. The guys that are out on the track. Givaldo, of course, starting us off. Love Givaldo, man. He's one of our favorite sons here at High Octane Racing League. And Claudio Bardelli Jr. How many championships does that guy have, huh? Wow. That is the Samba man right there. Good to see Claudio out here tonight. Got to be one of those guys we're thinking about with respect to a win. There's Claudio Bardelli Jr. Always in contention. So thank you for joining the chat session, fellas. Yeah, we're going to run a little bit over here. We got a little late getting started.
We'll step on the gas.
And I appreciate your support and understanding there. We're going to let the time run out, and I will be muting the broadcast to do the driver's meeting. We're going to go to the qualification session when they hit 3 minutes on the game clock. So 9:05 Eastern Standard Time here in the great state of Indiana. Speaking of Indiana, look at that guy. That guy's Dan Richter, a Purdue University grad right there. For all you folks that are watching from the area, there's the guy to root for. Purdue University. Got the Purdue colors, the Boom Boo Rum sponsor machine. And a graduate of Purdue University out here on the track. And that is Dan Richter. So keep your eye on Dan Richter. Always, always fast. More racing headed your way this weekend. Oh my Lord. The Saturday Night Thunder, the next gen, will be at Charlotte Road Course tomorrow for a 45-lap race. It's race number 9 of the season. And, man, that's going to be a fun one, man. Get out of the broadcast booth, get in the driver's seat, and get the snot beaten out of me at this track. That's for sure. This is a tough one. That's coming up tomorrow in the Saturday Night Thunder. The Tough Truck Series will be back in action on Wednesday night, October the 8th. Race number 9 of the season. Just 2 races to go in that series. And look at that Q95 truck right there. That's me. Although I don't typically race in the series. But racing starts at 8 o'clock. And that's the High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks. Be out there on Wednesday night, October the 8th, for a 90-lap race in California. Take a look at the track that is Charlotte Motor Speedway. Oh, it's one of those quad ovals. You see the 2 kinks there in the tri-oval area, or the quad oval area, if you will. So not exactly a cookie cutter But it's 1.5 miles in length, 4 turns, banking 24 degrees. The straights at 5 degrees. Things get really, really tight on that front stretch there, where you have the 2 kinks. It is really tight through there. Yes, it's wide, definitely too wide, but it is tight. So, and this is bumpy as well. Very, very bumpy track. So, a lot of things to be cognizant of here at Charlotte. This thing can break your heart. We can take a look at the race keys. Tonight's corner entry, very important here, and traffic management. Got 13 drivers out here. Throttle control as well through the corners. And make sure you save the tires. This thing is tough on tires, and make good pit stops. As always, it is a challenge to make pit stops here at Charlotte. Those are the race keys. And we got about a minute left before we head over to the qualification session. It's like Arthur Vieta trying to rejoin. Looks like he might have lost his connection or got out to make some adjustments. Connor Haynes joining us. He said, give me a shout out, man. And you know what? Just by being here on the stream, he's going to be the envy of all of his classmates. Good to see Connor. Hopefully Connor's enjoying the football game tonight. I know there's a big football game there at our school, so hopefully he's there cheering the Gophers on. And good to see Connor. About 30 seconds here before we kick it over to the qualification session. Looks like Arthur Vieta has rejoined. So you will hear a little bit of mute in the broadcast. I won't be saying anything. Uh-oh, 20. Oh, no, Connor, no, don't tell me that. Well, hopefully they get it together there, score some touchdowns in the second half. All right, we're headed over to the qualification session. So quali is 2 timed laps. We'll see who gets out there on the track first. It says 10 minutes on the clock for quali, so if that time under 10 minutes, the guys are free to get out on the track. And they all qualify at once. Nobody sees anybody else qualify when they're actually out on the track. So we'll see if we can pick the first person out of the gate. Nobody brave enough to be the first one. Oh, looks like we got somebody out there. And that is Arthur Vieta. Arthur Vieta, the first one out of the gate. One of our great Brazilian drivers in the 4 car here tonight. So we definitely want to get a good qualification position. Now they're all out there at once, by the way. You don't see that, but they're all out there at once. There's only like 4 guys that haven't gone out yet. So Vieta now on his timed lap. His first time lap in the 4 car. NASCAR BR. sponsored Chevy. They're great Brazilian drivers. A lot of championships under his belt. Let's see where he goes. Oh, way up the wall. He might have made contact with that outside wall. He was really close. 30.321 is the time for him in his first lap. Take a look at Dennis Judicin in the 47 Toyota. A little work to do there on lap number 2. So Vieira is the top time. Preston Hassel's second. Carter third. Caligari is fourth. Marazon currently in fifth. It looks like Dennis, his qualification lap, first lap, he is in P10, 31. And some change for him. Take a look at Ed Palumbo here in the 54. Let's see where he goes in that helmet sponsor machine. For 30.478, currently P7. Furtado up to P2. Caligari third. Givaldo right now in P4 as well. Wow, there we go. How about Dana Grover in the Toyota, the number 89, racing from the Trax VR facility? Those guys up in the Calgary area. Trax VR provides sim racing aficionados a place to race. Man, they got state-of-the-art equipment, simulators. They'll set you up with your game. Whatever you happen to be racing. If you're rFactor 2, iRacing, all the above, I think. And they really do a great job of supporting their clients coming in to race multiple times a week. I'd be living at that place if I was up there. Little work to do here for Dana Grover in this second lap. 30.443. He is in P7. Dan Richter. There you go. Dan Richter in his qualification attempt. Right now, Bardelli Jr. is up to the top of the grid. He got that Ford up there ahead of Arthur Vieira. How about that? Bardelli Jr., the Samba man. Let's see where he lands. Here we go. 30.474 P9. He has got some work to do here on lap number 2. Here we go. He's blue. He is blue, baby. 30.323 up to P3 for Danny Richter. How about that? Dan Richter ain't messing around. He is up to third. How about that, man? I think John Stanley right now has decided he's not going to qualify. So looks like qualifications technically are finished. And we'll give you the official results here in just a moment. And I will have to broadcast to do a little drivers meeting here, so if you'll excuse me, I will mute the broadcast and give you some entertainment. All right, boys, we are back. Thank you for joining. I said boys and girls. How about that? Thank you for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. And we are finished with the qualification session, and we will give you the results. And tonight, in case you're just joining us, we are at Charlotte Motor Speedway, 100-lap race. And again, I'm Heath, broadcaster, commentator here at TurnLeftTV. And man, we got a big crowd here tonight, and this is going to be a fun one. Let's take a look at the results, man. Qualification results. Claudio Margelli Jr. in the 19 qualifies P1. Mark Vieta starts in the second position. Man, you're talking about some big-time competitors right there in front row. Dan Ricker starts in third. Good qual effort there for the Ford. Tony Furtado qualifies in that fourth position in the 9. Julio Caligari qualifies in P5 in the Chevy. Givaldo Spindola in the 68 car will qualify in 6th. Man, better and better qualifications, man. Consistent right there with Givaldo. Great qualification effort there. Preston Housel qualifies in 7th. Dana Grover, the top Toyota, racing from the Tracks VR facility, qualifies in P8. Craig Marazon qualifies in 9th, and Ed Palumbo will start in P10. Starting in the 11th position is Gordon Carter. The 56. Eugene Fedorov. Hey, my buddy Eugene Fedorov! All the way from Russia. How about that, baby? Coming out here in the 84 car to join us tonight, man. Up early. And another guy up early. The 47, Dennis Shudichin, Ukrainian, baby! We love that guy, man. One of our brothers there. And John Stanley will start in P14. Man. How about that? How about the international flavor, man? Got some Canadians. Got the Brazilians out here. Once in a while we get a Spaniard or two. Awesome stuff, man. Those Americans. We get somebody from Portugal as well. Thiago Lopez races with us. He doesn't race with us on Friday nights, but Wednesday nights he races with us, and he's a great country of Portugal. It's Argentinian, Ukrainian, Russian. Who else we get, man? Of course, we do GT3. We get guys from all around the world. Oh, Indonesian. Oh, I can't forget about Rizky Novar, man. There you go. We got some great international flavor. I got some great friends here, man. Really do. Sim racing. I would have never known these guys had it not been for sim racing. We'll take a look at the schedule. Next week, we will be at Vegas. They say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I would concur with that. I've been to Vegas a few times. 100-lap race. Last time I was at Vegas, I was walking through a mall to go get something to eat at this great Brazilian restaurant. And on my way there, I passed by this sports memorabilia shop, and there were 4 guys sitting in chairs as you entered the shop. And I backed up and I looked in, and it was Ken Norton, Ernie Shavers, Michael Spinks, and Roberto Duran. If you don't know those guys, they are famous boxers and all champions in their own right. And all 4 of them were sitting there. And I was able to walk in. There was nobody else there other than those 4, the owner of the shop, and then me once I walked through the shop. And I had them all to myself, and it was amazing. Roberto Duran was an amazing person, really so friendly. So I'll tell you what, that was but anyway, that's what reminds me of Vegas. Of all things that I think of in Vegas, other than losing my money, I think of that right there. That's awesome. Hey, Tough Truck's coming up on Wednesday. Don't want to miss that, of course. That is race number 9 of the season, October the 8th, of course, and that's Wednesday, and 90-lap race in California. Givaldo is on my case right now. He says, you got to get your pick in. My pick. Thanks for reminding me, man. Thanks for reminding me. I am going to pick, oh boy, this is an easy one. Okay, you ready for the big reveal? Who I'm picking tonight? Arthur Vieira. The 4 car right there. Arthur Vieira is going to win this race tonight. Lock it in, baby. Lock it in. So he is fast. As long as he doesn't have a connection issue, that sometimes is the big issue for Arthur Vieira with the connection problem. And he did during the practice session. He left, and then I don't know whether he left or he got kicked. So, I haven't talked to him. We'll see if that's an issue for him. I think if he can keep the car or keep the connection, he's going to be okay. He is racing from the great country of Brazil. One of these days, man, I'm going to go all the way down to Brazil. I'm going to visit all my homeboys down there. Of all of the countries that are represented here in High Octane Racing League, of course, the United States, the vast majority of the folks here are U.S., but I think Brazil would probably be number 2, and then Canada would be number 3 as far as in numbers of drivers that participate in this Stockcar series. And I want to say thank you for Dan Ricker for making this song for me, man. This is awesome. Those who are watching locally here in Indiana, Dan Ricker is from Indiana, graduate of Purdue University. And the 65 car lightning fast, too. So we got 2 minutes left to go in the warm-up session. So restarting warm-up here just to let Givaldo be able to rejoin. Looks like the Gremlins are out tonight. Saturday Night Thunder will be back in action tomorrow night, October the 4th, race number 9 of the season, and it is Charlotte Road Course. No, not the Oval, the Road Course. That's right, Charlotte Road Course coming up tomorrow night in the High Octane Racing League Saturday Night Thunder. All right, here we go, baby. Here we go. Take a look at the starting order. The starting order here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Claudio Bardelli Jr., Team Samba starts in P1. Artur Vieta starts in the second position. Dan Ricker starts in third. Tony Furtado in the 9 starts in the 4th position. Starting in 5th is Giulio Caligari. Joel Spindler starts 6th. Preston Hassel starts in the 7th position. Dana Grover starts in P8. Starting in the 9th position is Craig Marazon. Ed Palumbo starts in 10th. Gordon Carter starts in the 11th position. And Eugene Fedorov starts in P12. Starting in the 13th position is Dennis Eudigen. And John Stanley starts in P14. Whoa! All right, boys. A 100-lap race here tonight. And my keys to the race are quarter entry, man. Really important here at Charlotte. Make sure you manage the traffic. Use some throttle control through the corners and save your tires. This thing is very, very hard on tires. And make good pit stops, man, especially under green flag conditions. So Claudio Bardelli Jr. is our our pole setter. So he is going to lead the field to take the green flag here at Charlotte.
Green flag, go, go, go.
Green, green, green. Here we go at Charlotte. Almost ran over the camera guy. The drone. Bardelli Jr. there clearing Artur Vieta. Vieta in second position. Tony Furtado get a little bumped. Got a little bump there. It looks like Caligari got around him. And they're side by side. Caligari did the inside. Tony Furtado on that outside line. And Artur Vieta looking like he's getting a little frisky now. Furtado and Caligari still side by side. And Furtado able to get that position back. Caligari still pushing it on the inside. See those cars jumping around here. Now Furtado trying to climb up the grid. On board here with Giulio Caligari. Dan Richter, Tony Furtado is on the move on that outside line. Caligari going to try to follow him through. He's on the outside. Man, got to be careful there. No saving tires for these guys. These guys getting after it. Preston Hassel in the 27 car now going to take advantage of that inside opening. And Caligari got together. Caligari in the outside wall. Caligari in the outside wall. Making contact there. Oh, boy. That got a little chippy. That got a little chippy there. Caligari. Man, Caligari still trying to hold on to that thing. Boy, that'll rattle your cage. He is battling Dana Grover. He did not have time to recover from that and breathe on that one. Wow. Take a look at this replay here as the 27 to the inside. Watch this. They're going to get together here. They're going to get together, I believe. No, they didn't make it. They didn't make any contact. The 6 car up the track, however, as Preston Hassel muscled his way through, so there was no contact there. Back here, look at this. Dennis Eudigen and Eugene Fedorov battling it out. Eudigen to the inside. Fedorov on the outside line. That 84 car, the 47 of Dennis Eudigen picking up that spot. On board here with Dennis Eudigen running behind the helmet sponsor machine, the 54 of Ed Palumbo. Palumbo running in P11. Dan Richter to 65. Oh, Tony Furtado on the outside wall. Tony Furtado in that Valvoline sponsor machine got the outside wall and leaves the door open. Dan Richter able to slip through here. Wow. Right there, Preston Hassel trying to hold on. Furtado got the outside wall. Preston Hassel gets by. Wow. He is getting racy. Take a look here as Furtado had made contact with the outside. Trying to recover, and Preston Hassel takes advantage of that and gets around in that 27 car. Gordon Carter in a hornet's nest right now in that 56. Get a couple Canadians there battling it out. The 89 on the inside, the 56 up on the outside line. And Gordon Carter muscling that high place moving sponsor machine through. And it looks like Ed Palumbo going to follow him through. Get by Dana Grover there, starting to lose some positions. Not sure what's going on with Dana Grover. Maybe made contact with the wall. Not sure. Haven't heard anything on the radio out of the 89 car. He is now back to the 12th position. He wants just to catch a breather. This thing has been exciting. Gordon Carter now closing in on Tony Furtado in the 56 car on the inside, followed by the 54. Three Chevys battling it out. The helmet sponsor machine starting to look around on the inside line. Not an opening yet for the helmet sponsor machine. 54 at Palumbo. Now getting through. Tony Furtado losing some more positions. Those guys getting by. So Tony Furtado's got some issues. I think that contact with the outside wall has boogered up that car. So Furtado now off the pace, back in the 13th spots. Back up here, Claudio Bardelli Jr., our race leader. He had gotten around Arthur Vieta. The 19 of Claudio Bardelli Jr., the Sober Tom sponsor machine, the race leader. Speaking of Sober Tom, don't forget to support Claudio Bardelli Jr.'s channel, the Sober Tom Podcast on YouTube. At Sober Tom Podcast. All things music there from Claudio Bardelli Jr. Has some great guests on his program, and check it out, man. That's Sober Tom Podcast on YouTube. Arthur Vieta says, I get it. Sober Tom Podcast. Let me have that spot back. This guy's just nose to tail here. Opened up about a second lead over P3, and that's Dan Richter. A couple Fords there running in third and fourth, but a Ford leading the way. So 3 Fords and 2 Chevys in the top 5. Greg Marazon is that second Chevy. He's got Givaldo Spinola just behind him, another Chevy. So Givaldo, good run here for him, running in P6. But Dan Richter, Craig Marazon in the 60 car. Magpul Dynamics sponsor machine, one of our Michigan drivers. I shouldn't say our only Michigan driver, but one of our Michigan drivers. Magpul Dynamics machine, only one out here on the track today. Running in the 5th spots. John Stanley in the Tim Horton sponsor machine. He's been running in the back there for a little bit, just biding his time, maybe saving those tires. Now closing in on Tony Furtado, and looks like he's going to make that pass. So John Stanley now up to the 13th spot as he gets around Tony Furtado, who has, I think, some damage here that he's dealing with. Eugene Fedorov. Oh, Dennis Schuderton up on the outside wall. Dennis Schuderton in the 47 car made contact with the outside wall, and it looks like Grover and Fedorov get by. Yeah, Uderchin had gotten into the outside wall. Take a look at the replay here. Uderchin up the track into the outside wall. And Grover and Fedorov take advantage and get by. So on board here with the 47. And it looks like Givaldo might have had some trouble here. Not sure what happened to Givaldo, whether he lost his connection, but he is out. Take a look and see what happened. And I think he might have disappeared. Might have been some connection issues here. Don't see anything there, so off the pace. So something's happened to Givaldo. DNF, man. sure what went on there for him. Down to the inside, he was battling Marizon. Marizon on the outside line, and Givaldo gets up the track, and everything's okay there, but he's seen a DNF. I don't know what happened. So maybe a connection issue for Givaldo. He did get disconnected earlier before, that's when we had to restart warm-up. So, yeah, it does look like a little digging into the track there, so he may have had some trouble. Like maybe a connection issue here for him. And yep, there we go. So he is gone. So, back to live here at our front two. 19 and the 4 nose to tail. And the 4 car, we're definitely going to watch his connection too. He's had some issues sometimes with connections on his end. Look at this, Preston Hassel. A couple Fords here battling out. Dan Richter on the high side. Preston Hassel in the 27, the Castrol sponsored machine, getting by Dan Richter. And Craig Marizon trying to run these guys down as well. Craig Marizon now beside that 65 car. Marizon looking fast. He is on the backside of the 27. 27 looking out of the back of his car. Craig Marizon, Dan Richter. Marizon is in the 4th position. Richter in P5. You see those guys running right behind Preston Hassel. Those guys have got to figure that out because that front two is just continuing to open the gap here at 19 laps in. Look at this battle. Ed Palumbo, the helmet sponsor machine. Dana Grover on the inside of that Trax VR Toyota. And then, oh, Fedorov and Palumbo got together. Fedorov and Palumbo got together there on that pass. Let's take a look at this replay. Watch this. Eugene Fedorov in the 84. As he's trying to make this pass, we'll take a look at the slow-mo of this. Through the tri-oval, right there, contact with Eddie Palumbo. And Palumbo does a great job of keeping it out of the wall. But, woo, Nelly. Things do get a little tight there through the quad oval. Gotta watch that. We've had some great racing. Caution-free so far. Keep our fingers crossed. 20 laps in. Pit window is somewhere around 25 to 30 laps, depending on how you manage that throttle. So 21 laps in, we will be seeing pit stops here fairly soon. Gene Fedorov continuing to move forward. He and Dana Grover. Dana Grover pulling that train there with the 84 behind, and those guys get by the 54 of Gordon Carter. Carter now back to the 9th position. Grover up to P6. Gordon Carter in the 9th position. Fedorov ahead in P8. Look at this. Dana Grover to the inside of Giulio Caligari. Caligari on the outside line as Dana Grover continuing to move up. Take a look at our side-by-side view. Gordon Carter running in P9. Take a look at Dana Grover here in the Toyota on that left side screen, running in the 6th position. Good little pack of cars there. Grover, Caligari, and Fedorov. Gordon Carter running in P9. We'll go up to P1 here, and that is Claudio Bardelli Jr. Ian Arthur Vieta, P1, P2. Preston Hassel running in the 3rd position. About 6 seconds down to these guys, about 6.5 seconds down to P1, P2. As Claudio Bardelli Jr. continuing to lead. Don't forget the Tough Trucks series, I believe. Let's see here. We get that right banner up there. again, Claudio Bardelli Jr., the leader. Take a look at the Tough Trucks. Will be back in action at California Speedway on Wednesday, October the 8th. This has been a great series, man. Great racing. Got a tire rule in this series, and everybody really has to manage the tires. Think about those tires. What you're going to do as far as tire strategy. It adds another layer of difficulty to racing, and it is a lot of fun, man. That's Tough Truck Series, California, coming up on Wednesday at 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. Sorry about that. And the Saturday Night Thunder will be at Charlotte tomorrow night. Race number 9. That's Charlotte Roval, the road course. Tough track there. That's coming up at 9 p.m. this Saturday. Starting to hear some guys maybe going to be coming down pit lane. The 19 indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. He is our race leader. Dana Grover is on pit lane as we speak. So Dana Grover actually looks like he's just finished up his pit stop, so he's coming back out on track. And the 19 to Claudio Bardelli Jr. indicating he's coming down pit lane this time. And you see Dana Grover finishing up that pit stop, pitting a little bit earlier here, thinking strategy. Hammer in here, wishing Dana Grover good luck tonight. Oh, I thought I heard Claudio saying he was going to be coming down pit lane. Maybe fooling me. Take a look at Dan Richter here in the 65 car, as we do have some guys on pit lane. Well, looks like Claudio did come onto pit lane. Arthur Vieira is on pit lane as well. So he's coming down pit lane. Here's Arthur Vieira in the 4. 84 of Eugene Fedorov finishing up his pit stop. So Vieira is on pit lane. And Palumbo also on pit lane in the 54 car. What a great place to have a camera here. Hey, is anybody in there? Anybody? Got a funny story about a Porta-John, man. I was at the fair. We have county fairs. I was at the county fair. We were all kind of standing side by side, shoulder to shoulder here, waiting for a Porta-John to open up. And some dude walked up to the Porta-John. We're like, what's he doing, man? Doesn't he realize we've been standing here? I mean, he's just walked up and pulled the, you check whether it's closed or whatever. He pulled it open, and there was a lady in there doing her business. And we're all standing out there shoulder to shoulder, and she sees a bunch of people out there watching her. Oh, so whenever I think of Porta-Johns, I think of that. But Claudio Bardelli Jr. Back out. That was a funny incident. She came out, walked right up to us. Oh my God, did you see us? Did you see me? No, we didn't. We lied. Oh, Claudio Bardelli Jr., the leader. Now look at that on-off pit lane. He's got a 3-second lead over Vieira. So Vieira got a little work to do to try to close back in on the back end of Claudio. Preston Hassel shown in the 3rd position. Dan Richter 4th. Craig Marizani is in 5th. The 12, Tim Horton sponsor machine. Closing in on Ed Palumbo. John Stanley in the 12, one of our great Canadian drivers. In the Tim Horton sponsor machine, now picking up a spot. He is now in P8. Oh, not so fast. I don't know. And the back of John Stanley's machine. And Palumbo just behind him in that Camaro. Bardelli Jr. the leader. And Vieta trying to close in. He has been able to drop that gap down to 2.5 seconds. So Vieta is definitely on the move. We take a look at that battle there between P1 P2. That was over 3 seconds just about 3 laps ago. So Vieta definitely the faster car here. Bardelli Jr. might be using this opportunity to save some tires. You're down to almost 2.5 second gap between the two of those guys. Gordon Carter into 56, closing in on Ed Palumbo. Carter closing in on that helmet sponsor machine. See how bumpy this is, man. How much he's working this wheel through the corner. It is super bumpy here. You get a little exhale, get a little breathing room here down the straightaway, but right back to it, man. Working the wheel through the corner here. This is Gordon Carter, and he's got that Tim Horton sponsor machine right there behind him. That is a tough road to hoe there. So a lot of work out here at Charlotte. The Sober Tom podcast is beating up on him. Although that gap is now down to 2.3 seconds between he and Arthur Vieta. Take a look at Julio Caligari, one of great Brazilian drivers. He's running in the 11th position. The last car on the lead lap. Rivaldo's gotten back in the race, I believe, after being disconnected, I think twice, and he is back in. He is now running in the 14th position. He's 18 laps down, but he's going to try to get some points. Maybe somebody will get disconnected or somebody will have a crash, something like that, and he'll be able to gain some points. And, you know, that's not really what he's thinking, though. He's just thinking he wants to be out here and racing, man. He shows up each and every week. He's racing all 3 of our series, and he's just a great guy. Really is a great guy. So here we go. Bardelli Jr. Getting around some lap traffic here. Craig Marizon closing in on Dan Ricker and Preston Hassel. Good tight battle here, 3, 4, and 5. Preston Hassel leading that train in the 27 car. A couple Fords and a Chevy. They're racing together. Hassel, Richter, and Marizon. Guys are about 10 seconds back to the race leader, and Arthur Vieta is closing the gap, man. It's down to 2 seconds. So Arthur Vieta definitely on a mission here, closing on Bardelli. But I think Bardelli might be saving some tires here. So once Vieta catches him, he may not be able to do anything with it because he might be burning up those tires a little bit. Preston Hassel in the Castrol Edge sponsor machine, 27 car, leading the 65 of Dan Richter. I'd like to thank everybody for coming in and watching the stream tonight. Hammer's in here. Connor Haynes came in. Hopefully he's in watching the stream as well. Of course, Rivaldo kicking us off, and he's out there on the track right now. Preston Hassel has got some company. Dan Richter just behind him in that 65 car. On board here with Dan Richter. Closing in on Preston Hassel through the quad oval. See how bumpy it is even through there. And then really working that wheel. As we talked about, see it's jarring you around, and he's using this outside line. And this is going to save tires a little bit. Saving tires. You go down to that inside, you burn up the tires a little bit more. He gets a good run off, backs off a little bit. Rolling up on some lap traffic. And that outside line, managing the throttle. We talked about that key to the race. Dan Richter really, really good. Hard pressed to find a driver that's better than he is up on that high line. Take a look at Dennis Uniten in the 47 car, getting by Tony Furtado. That pass is for position, so Uniten now picking up the 12th position. Furtado running in P13. Uniten now picking up P12. He's in the lucky dog position. That was a big pass there. Dana Grover in a little bit of a hornet's nest right now. Fedorov just behind him. Good battle there as Givaldo gets up out of the way and lets those guys go by. This is P6, P7. Dana Grover running in the 6th position. And we'll take a look at the car just behind him, and that is, wrong button there. Sorry about that. The car just behind him, that's Eugene Fedorov. So 6 and 7 there. Look, Toyota versus Ford battle going on here on lap 45. Dana Grover has the best of that so far, but the 84 has been able to close in on him, reel him in a little bit. I know Dana Grover's strategy is going to be some tire save. He is really good at working that calculator. We got some help there from those Trax VR guys. They hovering over the shoulder. They'll be giving him some strategy. Having a few cocktails there at the Trax VR facility at Calgary. A good battle with these guys. John Stanley and Gordon Carter battling it out. Little Canadian battle here. And the Tim Horton sponsor 12 going to end up getting around and picking up P9. Gordon Carter falling back to the 10th position. We'll change up positions here as John Stanley picking up a spot. It looks like Tony Furtado getting way out of the way. It looks like he might be coming down pit lane here in that number 9 car. Tony Furtado making a pit stop. Interesting there. Didn't hear really anything out of him. So that crew wants that car into pit lane. Second and a half separate Claudio Bardelli Jr. and Artie Vieira. Bardelli Jr. being able to manage those tires, trying to stretch it out, maybe thinking of a fuel mileage race. Guys are also really good. Vieira and Bardelli both really good at figuring that part out. Look at this battle here. We were looking at a little minute ago, and it looks like Fedorov is feeling a little frisky. The 84 trying to close in and get around the Fireball Flash number 89. Fedorov looking racy. Oh, maybe a little bump right there. Maybe a little bump. He is, oh man, oh. And Fireball Flash coming down pit lane. Maybe that's what it was. Getting out of the gas. I didn't hear anything out of the Fireball Flash crew about coming down pit lane. Woo, Nelly. That got interesting there. That got interesting. Take a look at this. He almost runs over him. Almost runs over him there. Wow. We're going to look at that really quickly. Right there might have been some contact. I think Fedorov probably did not hear any call come down pit lane. Those guys are supposed to announce it over the over TeamSpeak so the other guy knows. And he made contact with him, and that was crazy. That was crazy. The 19 has now all but lost that lead. He's down to half a second as Artur Vieira has run him down. The 4 car with Artur Vieira. He is looking racy now. He has caught the 19. This is the battle for the race lead. Claudio Bardelli Jr. the leader in the 19 car. Artur Vieira into 4. Vieira's come from about 3 seconds down to the inside. Looking to pick up this spot. Archer Vieira challenging on the inside. Cannot get the bite he needs. Has to tuck back in down the backstretch. Archer Vieira trying to close in here again and pick his spot and trying to get around Bardelli. And we got some lap traffic up there as well. Good battle here between Archer Vieira and Claudio Bardelli Jr. Through the quad oval. Rolling up on the 56, who is indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. So these guys are going to have to stay wide going into turn 3. Moving up to the high side here down the backstretch. There you go. That is some great communication. That is exactly how it's meant to be done. And you see Bardelli able to hold on to that spot as the 56 coming down pit lane. Preston Hassel on pit lane. Claudio Bardelli Jr. the leader. Heath holding on to that lead as those guys are making pit stops. Preston Hassel on pit lane. Looks like he's finished up his pit stop. Take a look at Preston Hassel coming back out after pitting. Right now in the 8th position. Bardelli Jr. coming down pit lane. The race leader giving up a race lead. Coming down pit lane. Looks like you're crawling at a snail's pace when you come down pit lane here. So the 19 making a pit stop. Giving up the race lead. Tucking into his pit stall. See Palumbo coming down, coming out. Right there, Claudio Bardelli Jr. Left side tires, and now out. On and off pit lane, baby. And our race leader is Archer Vieira, who's now come down pit lane, so he's making a pit stop. Caligari on pit lane as well. Dan Richter is the leader now. Preston Hassel back out on the track. Take a look at Giulio Caligari finishing up his pit stop. Down on that inside, you see Vieira going by on that apron as well. Archer Vieira said, hey, I can't wait for you, baby. And the 6 car back out on the track. As Dan Richter's now on pit lane. So Dan Richter making a pit stop here in the 65 car. It seems like it takes forever when you're on pit lane like this. Back out on track, and he will be in the 5th position. Craig Marizan. Where's he at? He's on pit lane. So he was the race leader for a minute, and the 60 Magpul Dynamic sponsor machine on pit lane. And he's back out, and Claudio Bardelli Jr. reassumes the lead. $59 laps in the books. We have been caution-free here at Charlotte. Caution-free. That's awesome. Now, after making pit stops, remember that first round of pit stops, you had a 3-second gap between the 19 and the 4. What is it now? Well, it's 1.7 seconds. So Vieira, that on and off pit lane, a little bit better than Bardelli Jr. on this last pit stop. So he has been able to keep that gap a little bit tighter. won't take as many laps to be able to run down Claudio Bardelli Jr. The other caveat to that is Bardelli Jr. going to drive this car the way he did on that previous run. I felt like that Bardelli Jr. was kind of maybe saving a little bit, not really pushing it. So we got to wonder whether that's going to come into play here and how quickly Vieira, if at all, is able to close in on Claudio Bardelli Jr. How is Bardelli Jr. driving this car on this run? We're on the back half of this race now. You probably are not going to drive the car the same way. Take a look at Eddie Palumbo here on the inside of Eugene Fedorov. The 54 and the 84 are slugging it out. And Ed Palumbo battling for the 6th position as Dana Grover back there as well in P8. He's going to try to use that opening maybe that Ed Palumbo gave him by getting by Eugene Fedorov. Ed Palumbo now in P6. Fedorov in the 7th position, but he has got a whole lot of Dana Grover in his rearview mirror. Right there, Dana Grover in the 8th position in that Toyota. Fedorov in the 84. Trying to keep that Toyota behind him. So we've got a Chevy, a Ford, and a Toyota. Fedorov got a little squirrely there through the corner, coming off turn 4 through the trioval, and that's allowed Dana Grover to close in. That has allowed Dana Grover to close in here. Fedorov looks like the back end of that car wanting to step out a little bit. You see he's trying to hold on, and that's scrubbing off some speed on corner exits. Oh, look at that. We got Dana Grover here making a move. Dana Grover making a move on the inside through the trioval. The 89. Oh, man, to get it, pull it off there side by side through the quad oval. Out of turn 4, the 89 of Dana Grover battling the 84. Toyota versus Ford. And the 89 is going to get this spot. Fedorov in the 84 falling back to the 8th position. Some good racing here. Tony Furtado has really not had the night that I think he has wanted. He had some damage early on in the race. See Preston Hassel go by. Oh, and there you go. Some more contact with the outside wall. And that's what he did earlier in the race. It's a pretty significant damage, I believe. And the 9 car trying to get a good points night here. Just think about the bigger picture. And he is running in the 13th position. First car, 1 lap down in the lucky dog spot is the 12. Tim Horton sponsored machine, and that is John Stanley. He's running in P9. He's right behind the race leader. Well, he could unlap himself, but you got to ask yourself, really why? If there's a caution flag that comes out, then I'm the lucky dog. Since I'm pushing the stuff, don't have anybody breathing down your neck. He's got about a 4-second lead over Gordon Carter, and that lead is extending, so he doesn't really have to worry about pushing this 12 car. Preston Hassel working his way around Givaldo. Givaldo got up on the outside wall. Now, Givaldo got disconnected earlier, was able to rejoin, got disconnected again, and able to rejoin again. We got to give him the diehard batteries award. I don't remember what they called that, but kept running, you know, and when you had a bunch of damage and so forth, they used to have those awards there in NASCAR. I don't think they do them anymore, but 47, Preston Hassel is running in third. Dan Ricker just behind him. A couple Fords there, nose to tail. Dan Ricker in the 65, running in the 4th position. Now looking on the inside of Preston Hassel. And the Boom Boom Rum sponsor machine now picking up a spot up to P3. Preston Hassel falling back to the 4th position. Couple Fords there battling it out. They are about 18 seconds or so. About 18 seconds down to the race leader. A couple Fords there running in P3, P4. Back up here with the leader, Claudio Bardelli Jr. And he's been able to manage that. As a matter of fact, stretch that gap out a little bit as Vieta is running in the second position, and he is 3 seconds down. Although, you got to look at what's happening here with Bardelli. He has got some help with John Stanley running behind him. Those guys can run the draft a little bit, even though John Stanley's a lap down car as he gets around Eugene Fedorov. That helps Bardelli. He's able to use that slipstream, so to speak, and open up some gap. Giulio Caligari in the 6 car. Giulio! Says, hey, it's Jay! I got him. JB Rancing sponsored Chevy. Good to see Giulio out here tonight, running in the 10th position. As we'll take a look at that pass there. He closed in on the 56. This is just a moment ago. And the 56 gives Giulio the room he needs. Giulio now picking up the 10th position. Ed Palumbo in a helmet sponsor machine. Been a quiet night for Ed Palumbo, hoping to crack the top 5. He's got about 5 seconds to close in on P5, who is Craig Marizon. So a little bit of room to move there, although he's got to worry about Dana Grover just behind him, only 1.5 seconds down at Palumbo. So 54 and the 89. Decently close battle there on the track, so we'll see if the 89 can chip in to that 54's lead on him. And that is P6, P7. Hey, 6-7, 6-7. I have no idea what that means. The kids were all saying it this year. I had to look it up. It means absolutely nothing. So there you go, kiddies, if you're watching. 6-7. Type it in the chat there so they get it. 6-7. There we go. 6-7. I got it in. TurnLeftTV says 6-7. The 54. 5-4. 5-4. Helmet sponsor machine is running in P6. That gap has diminished here, about 1.3 seconds. Just now up to 1.4, so he has chipped in. Dana Grover is chipping in a little bit into Ed Palumbo's race lead. Gordon Carter on pit lane in the 56 car. So a little pit stop here for the 56 high place moving sponsor machine. There's the Porta Johns again. Horrible place for a camera. We don't, especially during the race. We don't need that. You see the 56 coming back out. Dana Grover also on pit lane. Dana Grover's on pit lane taking some service. Trax VR sponsor machine. Get a little broadcast, get an advertisement there for Trax VR. I need a Trax VR shirt, man. Like a long sleeve t-shirt so I can wear it to school. Love the logo, the color scheme that they have there at Trax VR is cool as well. And love to see if they've got some long sleeve t-shirts. Connor Haynes says, type it 6-7. Bardelli Jr., Sober Tom, Ford. The leader, 2.3 seconds. He's been able to sort of stretch it out, and then Vieta closes back in. Preston Hassel is on pit lane. In the 27, wouldn't that be cool if he had the 67 car? I think I raced the 67 car in one of the race leagues because the 07 was already taken. And it does look like Preston Hassel is on pit lane. If you take a look at Claudio Bardelli Jr. in that left side screen. And Preston Hassel coming back out. Preston Hassel now in P7. Tony Furtado has retired his machine So it's a tough break there. So Tracks VR, hey, all right, man. I'm going to get a shirt. Yes. I'd say large. If it's one of those not pre-washed ones, large. Or if it's not pre-washed. Otherwise, maybe a medium. Maybe. Depends on how big they are. Sort of in between. Depends on the... my Jimi Hendrix shirt that I wore to school today was... I wore a Jimi Hendrix shirt. Was a medium. But sometimes the largest fit better. So it's interesting, different kinds of shirts. But yeah, man, definitely. Well, hit me up there on Discord. I'd love to have that. Now, just let me know what I owe you, and we'll go from there. That'd be awesome. Didn't know they had shirts. I looked on the website, and I didn't see a shirt, so I was like, didn't think they sold them. And look at that, Dan Richter coming down pit lane. Claudio Bardelli Jr. and Vieira both on pit lane. We'll take a look. Those guys, this might be interesting to see how this shakes out. Take a look at Bardelli Jr. and Vieira. They've been running 1-2. Let's see how quickly Vieira gets out of pit lane. All right, come on, buddy. This is going to be a good place to gain some spots. And you see John Stanley coming out as well. Dan Richter on pit lane. Dan Richter in the Boom Boo Rom sponsor machine. Finishing up his pit stop. Bardelli Jr. That on-off pit lane. Look at that now. 5-second gap over Artur Vieira. How about that? We'll put that up there, man. Tracks VR, man. With the hookup, with the shirt. That would be awesome, dude. I would love that. Connor Haynes still with us. 6'7", 6'7". See Connor, man. Hopefully the football game got a little bit tighter. Homecoming coming up here in the next few weeks, I believe. So, Givaldo Spindler gets a penalty. Oh, no. Givaldo with the penalty. Uh-oh. What happened? Givaldo with the penalty. The cops got him. Speeding on pit lane. Got a drive-through. Wow. So Givaldo, tough break there for him. He's had a tough night. So the Policia. Uh-oh. Whoa. What happened there? Well, that was interesting. We need to get a caution flag on that. That's awesome. The car spun all the way around, too. Very interesting. Since he was down off the track, so maybe that had something to do with it. The 19 of Claudio Bardelli Jr. with about 15 laps to go. 14 laps. Well, actually, technically 15 because we're on lap 86. So. Caligari and Uderchin both on pit lane. Giulio Caligari on pit lane, now coming back out on track. As the 19, sorry there, as I switch, I'll have to load this stuff again when I go to the side-by-side. You see Caligari coming back out in the 11th position. So, when we take a look at Bardelli Jr.'s battle with Artur Vieira here after the last round of pit stops. You take a look at Bardelli, and he is out to a pretty decent-sized lead over Vieira. That can't be right. Oh, Vieira DNF. Vieira's lost his connection or something. I don't know what happened to Artur Vieira, but he is off Archer Vieira is out, man. What happened? So Archer Vieira, what happened to Archer Vieira? Oh my heavens, man. Let's see. I told you that, the connection issues for him. It's notorious for that. And yep, lost the connection. Oh gosh. I remember in the pre-race show, I said, you got to watch that. I picked him to win. I said, if he can keep his connection. I know that he's had some connection problems. If we have a little sketchy connection, he usually seems to be the one who gets affected by that. And the 19 now is got a big, big lead. What a bummer there for Archer Vieira. Ah, man. Hate that for him. That guy is no nonsense. Gets out, and he's dropped from TeamSpeak too, so he has really lost his connection. 10 laps to go for Claudio Bardelli Jr. P2 out of the race, and Preston Hassel now in second. However, let's take a look and see who's in Preston Hassel's zip code. And that is Dan Richter, 7/10 back. Can Dan Richter run down Preston Hassel? There's on running in fourth. Palumbo is fifth. Pretty tight battle there. Dan Richter trying to close in. 0.5 of a second now. Richter is faster than Preston Hassel. And I think we saw that on an earlier run where Dan Richter was able to close in on Preston Hassel and make that pass. Different pit strategies out of these guys. On board here with Richter as he's trying to make that pass. Preston Hassel squeezing a little bit. Preston Hassel squeezing. And the 65 sneaking by. Boom Boo Rum sponsor machine. Preston Hassel not wanting to give up that spot. He's down to the inside line. Not able to get that nose under the 65 car. And 65 opening up a gap. What a battle there. Great battle there. Preston Hassel and Dan Richter. Take a look at this replay as Dan Richter goes to the inside. Preston Hassel clears Preston Hassel here, and Hassel trying to do a crossover move all over the back of him and tries to go down to the inside. A little bump right there. Little bump. And not able to pull off that pass. Wowza. If we go back to live, so I took my timing away. There you go. This thing is finicky sometimes. Bardelli Jr. setting sail here, home free, as long as there's no Gosha flag that comes up. Take a look at Ed Palumbo running in the fifth position. He's one lap down. The 54. So good top five. Good top five run there for him as Claudio Bardelli Jr. Setting sail, baby. The Sober Tom podcast. Sponsored Ford. Closing in on Craig Marazon. He and Vieira were having such a good battle, and the 19, lucky him, as Vieira has lost his connection. But I think on that last round of pit stop, Vieira did not have as good of a on and off pit lane and lost some time. So he was down a fair amount as opposed to those first two pit stops. 3 laps to go for the 19. John Stanley, Dana Grover here battling late in the race. Stanley to the outside, Dana Grover on the inside in the 89. The battle for Canada. And the 12 car, the Tim Horton sponsor machine, spilling coffee all over that 89 car. The 89 Tracks VR machine has to tuck in the 7th position. Oh, Stanley mowing some grass. Coffee and grass. I don't know what that is. And John Stanley picking up a spot as Claudio Bardelli Jr. with 2 laps to go. Silvertown Podcast Ford. Down the backstretch. Clear sailing from him as long as we don't see a caution flag. And we have not had a caution flag. One lap to go for Claudio Bardelli Jr. Richter and Hassel. 3 Fords. 1, 2, 3. The top 3 are Fords here tonight. Usually a pretty Chevy-heavy crowd, but Fords are dominating here tonight. All on the lead lap as well. So here we go. Claudio Bardelli Jr. through the quad oval is going to take the victory here at Charlotte. So congratulations to Claudio Bardelli Jr. Great job, Claudio, in getting the win here at Charlotte, man. Great job. Just a dominating performance. He had dominated the first part of that race, but Claudio was able to take the second half and be pretty dominant as well. So great job to Claudio Bardelli Jr. Big win for Samba Man. Just a great race tonight from everybody. What a good job to those guys out here on the track, man. Everybody raced each other cleanly. There was some good aggressive driving, but clean driving. A great job. Bardelli Jr. gets the big win. Good run there for him. As he's going to back it into his pit lane. Let's see if we got this. So great job to Claudio. With the race win. And we'll get the final results here before we get him in the booth. Let's take a look at the results. Claudio Bardelli Jr., the top Ford here tonight, finishes in P1. Dan Ricker finishes in that second position. He and Preston Hassel had a great battle there throughout the night, and Preston Hassel finishes in third. Craig Mares on the top Chevy in the 60, finishes in fourth, and Palumbo finishes in fifth. John Stanley in the 12 finishes in the 6th position. He started in the back, man. Dana Grover, the top Toyota, finishes in P7. Eugene Fedorov finishes in the 8th position. Gordon Carter finishes in 9th, and Giulio Caligari finishes in P10. Finishing in the 11th position is Dennis Schuderchin. Artur Vieta finishes in the 12th spot. Rivaldo Spinola finishes in 13th. And Tony Furtado finishes in P14. The 2 cars DNF'd here tonight. Shame for those guys, but glad they were able to join us. And Claudio Bardelli Jr. with the win. What a great job to him. All right, Claudio Bardelli Jr. joining us here in the booth, and a caution-free race, too. You had a little bit to deal with Arthur Vieta. You had to run him down, get around him, and but you guys seemed to work together pretty well throughout the first half of the race.
Yes, I'm working too hard. I try to no burn tires in the corners, and this track is very difficult to maintain tires good, fresh, and I try maintain the car is slow, and the car is in the turns is no gas pedal, brakes on, and the Arthur is difficult, but in first pitting I'm open to 5 seconds in the Arthur, but this guy is difficult. Arthur is good compactor, and I'm luck guy. You you read suggested the win the race is Arthur. The Arthur is a problem.
You know, the second half of the race, that second to last pit stop you made, you were able to get really out quite a bit ahead of Arthur, and of course he ended up having a disconnection issue, but he was not able to close that gap. It seems like that last on and off pit lane was a lot better for you than it was for Arthur.
I tried to change 2 tires. Arthur's changed 4 tires in the last. And thank you for disconnecting Arthur for me.
Well, that was a gutsy move, just doing the 2-tire stop here at this track. This track is really tough on tires, bumpy, and that was a really gutsy move. Congratulations on that. Next week we got Las Vegas in the mix. Any thoughts on Las Vegas coming up next week?
Yeah, Las Vegas is a good track. Track for the 1.5 miles is good for me. This car. I tried. I expected the tires is a bad tires to compactors.
Well, we've advertised your Silverton podcast, for guys to come out and watch your YouTube. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are you doing live podcasts on Wednesday nights, or talk a little bit about your channel and what you do at your channel, and why some folks should come in and watch you?
This one thing is a good day to record the Silverton, and I will try to run races with you and the guys when no broadcasting the Silverton. I try to races.
Hey, we're okay with that, man. We support your channel. We just I'm gonna have to get on there. You're gonna have to have me on there someday, and I can.
Thank you.
Hey,
I am invited to you participate in Brazil.
All right. Well, I gotta bone up on my Portuguese though, so
yes.
I can say maybe 10 words in Portuguese, and sometimes they're not very. My pronunciation's
10
not very
words
good.
in English, no problem.
All right. Parabéns, Claudio.
Thank you. Good night. I see the hug to Matheus Melo is watching the race, and my wife is working in house, in home.
All right. Oh yeah, definitely get the shout out to the wife, man. Keep yourself in good graces, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, see you. It's Claudio Bardelli Jr. joining us in the channel, and one of our great Brazilian drivers. Don't forget to check him out over at Silverton Podcast there on YouTube. He is a great musician, loves the samba music. I didn't even know what samba music was before I met him, and he played some for me. I've even seen some of he's posted on YouTube of him doing some live music in some, out in the community and so forth, and it's pretty awesome stuff. So didn't really know what samba music was until I met Claudio, and He's got a great musical talent and a great love for music, and join him there on that Silver Tom podcast. He's also a great sim racer, too, and a great friend. So we love Claudio Bardelli Jr. So good to see the Silver Tom podcast sponsored Ford in Victory Lane. Man, that was a great race, huh? Caution free. We like to see a caution flag here and there to bunch it back up. I know some of those guys that got caught a lap down. That was a tough break for them. But hey, man, it is what it is, right? You know, that stuff happens. That's the way the ball bounces, so to speak. Next week, we're going to be at Las Vegas. That's right, Las Vegas next week. Did we move the triangle down or move the rectangle down? I think we do. Next week, Las Vegas. Great track there, another mile and a half. A little bit easier to deal with at Vegas than what you find here at Charlotte. And that's coming up next Friday, October the 10th. Same time, same channel, right here on TurnLeftTV. Don't forget the Tough Truck Series will be back in action on Wednesday for race number 9 of that season. Oh, they got my Q95 truck on there, man. Even though I'm not racing, they put the Q95 truck in the banner. How about that? 90-lap race, man. And it is High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks. Wednesday night, season number 4, race 9. And racing starts at 8 o'clock. If you are out there in the sim racing world and you like rFactor 2, use that QR code. Join us on Discord, and we'll get you hooked up racing in the Truck Series. Saturday Night Thunder will be back in action tomorrow night. The Next Gen Series, race number 9, and we'll be at Charlotte Road Course, the Roval. We'll be working out at that thing, man. Wow. That's coming up tomorrow, October the 4th at 9 p.m. 45-lap race. I get out of the broadcast booth and get in the driver's seat. Oh, my gosh, at Charlotte Roval. Yeah, hey, I mix it up with the boys, man. Saturday Night Thunder is where I started off racing in High Octane Racing League back in 2001. That's right. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, smash the bell, and don't forget to share my videos with all of your friends. Invite them to come out and watch the races here at TurnLeftTV and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for joining me tonight. Tonight's race has been brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you are interested in an rFactor 2 server, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. That's EliteHostingUSA.com. Congratulations, Claudio Bardelli Jr. That's going to do it for me tonight. We'll see you next time. I am out of here.